All right, let's hop in to game one of our next best of three. We got a ZVZ on our hands, and spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Site Delta, we've got Talon's Dark. Looking strong today. Did drop a map against Epic, though, so not unbeatable. Let's see if his opponent can find a way in. For Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne. As some people may not be familiar, Wayne previously was known as Ratatat for a while, and before that was known as Vanya, and is still often referred to as Vanya, I believe. I feel like Roddy is the kind of person that would just keep calling him Vanya through his name changes. Vanya is still the coolest tag he's used, in my opinion. All right, ZVZ. Nothing crazy so far. Looking like a nice mirror matchup. I like when the production tab is mirrored. And it's like, it is a mirror matchup. Look at that. Crazy. But no 12 pools or anything like that, so just gotta wait until somebody decides to make a bunch of units. That's the fun thing about casting ZVZ, is it's like, unless it's a 12 pool or somebody's doing like a very specific kind of build, if we're just macroing, all we're doing is waiting until one of these production tabs just like one player just decides to make a bunch of links. Or like a bunch of roaches. That's what we're waiting for. Until then, you're just chilling. And it can happen at almost any point. You can try to time it with ling speed. You could just wait until both players are macroed a little bit further up. I don't know. It feels so just at a whim. And I feel like that's what is so difficult about ZVZ. At any point, your opponent could just decide to make a bunch of units and try to kill you. And you have to be able to be prepared for that. If you want to just macro, you're going to have defensive banelings at home in case your opponent makes a bunch of lings to time out with ling speed, right? You have to have some banes back at home. That's why the baneling nest is going down now for both players, so they can make defensive banes if their opponent does that. That's why the timing exists. There are ways to get around making a bane nest, but it usually involves being the player that makes a bunch of like early speedlings and then attacking your opponent, keeping them playing defensively, and then going straight into roaches off the back of that. We're not seeing that here. This is straight up play. Just keeping an eye out if anybody makes more lings. Wayne is building a few more, but so far this is looking like mostly defensive play from both of these guys. Wayne has scouted the third base, as has Dark, I assume. Yeah. So no questions here on what's going on. Ling speed finishes up a little bit earlier for Wayne. He's able to take advantage of that, get a full scout of the main. See, hey, there's no lair, there's no roach warren. This is standard play right now. This is, as we say, bog standard. And yeah, neither player committing to lings at all. I mean, we are on the same exact army supply right now. Wayne hasn't even made defensive mainlings because he's been so focused on the other side of the map. He knows that there's not a big attack coming. Dark is making one defensive mainling. That's it. This is kind of cool. Honestly, I haven't seen a ZVZ that's gone like this in a while. There are a bunch of lings coming out of Dark now. It's not like a crazy amount, but he's building a big round of them. Wayne might need to make a couple defensive banes. He does have the overlords here to spot that there's more lings coming out, and actually Dark's even sending that one bane across the map. Wayne a little bit late to these banelings, but he does have one back here that's going to walk forward, try to get a connection on some of these, but the banelings coming in, going for the drones, going for the morphing banes. Nope, they're going for the drones. Ooh, the drones are pulling back. They are saved, and these banes will pop. Wayne's not going to end up losing too much here. Take a look at the trades. I mean, that's almost dead. And we are looking at very similar trades. So Wayne maybe caught a little off guard there. But overall, not too big of a difference. The thing is, though, behind that, Dark has a big round of drones come out. So he's now ahead 13
Chickenman.
workers.
Wow.
Moving into the roach phase. And we are getting into the roach phase. Wayne is committing. He is building nothing but roaches right now as his lings try to go in and maybe get a little bit of damage done. Maybe force Dark to building some more lings and banes than he wanted to. But Dark's already got roaches coming out too. Wayne has a lot more army supply though. I think if he goes, he's got a chance here. Carapace is about to finish up, which tells me that Wayne, yeah, he's committing to this. And that's much earlier than Dark's +1 missile attack. So Wayne is going to have the upgrade advantage, but he's going to be severely behind in income, which means Dark should be able to build more units. Wayne has to hit soon. Raining Bagels, thank you so much for 53 months of subscription. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. We are here to bring justice. That is, in fact, what the Chickenman does. Right now, Wayne's trying to bring justice to Dark. Dark has a lot of roaches here. The Baneling's going to try to run through and get into the drone line. They get a big hit, but they do not finish them off. Some Lings might need to split off over there. Let's see if Wayne... Ooh, he gets a massive Ling surround, actually. Some Banelings coming up to try to run into those. The Lings do go into the mineral line. I think Wayne's winning this fight against the roaches. Some of the Ling reinforcements, though, just kind of dying over here. But now all of those Banelings are gone. Wayne needs to be a little careful. He's doing some damage to the hatchery. He needs to just take the roach fight straight up. Dark's +1 missile attacks is about to finish, and that's going to equalize those upgrades. So Wayne does some economic damage, builds a few drones back at home. He starts up a 4th base. And it looks like we're just going to macro on. Okay, I don't hate this. I don't hate this. Roach speed on the way for both players. Wayne's halfway through +1 missile attack. So right now the upgrades are equalized, right? 1 attack, 1 carapace. But Wayne is working on keeping that upgrade lead. Now he's going to try to defend. Now his income was down a little bit earlier. So Dark is going to try to use that and see if he can counter push. Some army supplies are very similar. Roaches popping out. There are some Ravagers here for Wayne as well, forcing some micro out of Dark. But Dark is here. He's hitting. Are those Roaches going to be on time for Wayne to hold on? He does have the Queens defensively as well, and this Spine Crawler, which is about to pop. Dark trying to push through. I think Wayne can hold, though. This Spine Crawler is getting very close. The Queens might go down. That's a big deal there. So Dark trying to get that before he leaves. But I think that was a good hold from Wayne, who did cancel his 4th base. I was just going to say, if this 4th base was like popping right now, ooh, Wayne would be in a great spot. But he canceled it to make sure he could hold. He did build a Spine Crawler that ended up, I don't think, doing any damage. But Wayne, we see, is 20 supply ahead right now. It's all in the army. The worker count is dead even. There's no 4th base for Dark either. They're on even economies. However, Dark has 5 mutas on the way, and that is something I do not think Wayne is thinking about at all. That the reason Dark didn't have enough roaches there is because he was going for a Spire behind it, saving up some of that gas. That's why he didn't have any Ravagers. Wayne is ahead in upgrade as well now. 1-1 versus just the +1 attack. It's not the hugest deal in the world, but is going to be important in the Roach versus Roach fights. But if there's mutas overhead, that's way more important than 1 upgrade, and Wayne is about to find out that there are mutas on the field as they start hitting one of these Ravagers. Dark has a lot of roaches here. Wayne's going to try to push in anyways. He's like, screw it. I think Dark has too many roaches for that. It's going to be such a close fight that the mutas are going to make a massive difference. And with the close reinforcements, I think Dark's going to have enough to hold on here. Wayne is forced to retreat, and now he's just lost so many roaches to these mutas doing extra damage from above that I think Dark has put himself in a fantastic spot. This is an immediate reversal of the supply. But again, the reason that Dark's supply was so low earlier is because he was getting into these mutas, and now they're here. They can kill these overlords, any that are a little bit out on the map. They've already helped defend the roaches. They've really already done their job. These 5 mutas have paid for themselves. Wayne does have some Hydras popping out now, so he was already heading towards Hydras. So that bodes well for him. But now the mutas killing a couple of drones as well, the gas mining drones. Very annoying for Wayne. However, Wayne's 4th base is done a little bit earlier, but because he's down so much in workers, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Muta's just doing a great job being annoying here. No Spore Crawler at this base. The Hydra's just a little bit slow to the defense. 2 more drones going down. And Dark, while he's doing all this little fancy micro stuff, he's just got Roaches and Ravagers coming out back at home. Building a few more mutas here. I don't I don't know if I love that. I feel like just the 5 mutas is enough. And since Wayne has Hydras out, oh, 3 of those mutas die. I mean, I guess Wayne won't be expecting there to still be 6 mutas, but yeah, I don't know. I guess having the mutas still out is fine. But Dark, he's maxed. He's 200 supply, mostly Roach Ravagers, just a few supply caught up in those mutas. So he is just going to have the stronger army. Now, Hydras can be pretty solid in an army, but the Ravagers of Dark are going to just be forcing so much micro out of these units, dodging those biles, or doing damage if they don't dodge the biles. And in the meantime, the mutas just still keeping Wayne busy back at home, keeping that economy down below Darks. It does mean that as Wayne hits maxed, he's going to have a much bigger and a technically better army, right? We talk about, oh, those 6 mutas, it's just a few supply. But, like, that's now 10 supply. It's not really going to be in a main fight. Plus, Wayne is going to be 10 army supply ahead because he's down almost 10 army supply in drones, right? So that's 20 extra supply in a straight-up fight. Dark's Biles are going to have to do some real work here. Dark is also supply blocked after losing those overlords across the map. Now Wayne is starting to dive in. Wayne is splitting his army, though. This is such a wild move. Muta's, in the meantime, just idly doing damage here. The Hydra reinforcement's going to try to clean those up as Wayne tries to push in 2 locations, splitting his roaches, forcing Dark to split his roaches. And now Wayne's moving through the middle, but I think he's just put himself up in a surround. Oh my god, it's a surround on 3 sides. Wayne, what are we doing here? He's in the valley. And this is just going to go so well for Dark. I think that ends up being such a poor engagement for Wayne, who also had a bunch of roaches not in that fight at all. Dark ends up at 192 supply after this. He's going to lose his 4th base, but that is a small consolation for Wayne, who's also just taking a bunch of random damage to these mutas back at home. And now Wayne's going to pull back, but he's losing so many roaches on this side of the map still. And Dark, yes, his economy is not great, but neither is Wayne's. Wayne's has not been this whole time. Wayne is just not going to have the reinforcement capability to hold on against this counterattack. 144 army supply is going to be walking across the map to kill Wayne. And I don't think this 3 roach counterattack is going to be enough to do what Wayne needs it to. The 1 spine crawler from earlier, not going to last very long. And it looks like we're headed to a game 2 as Dark is about to close this one out. Wayne trying to hold on with the army he has. But man, that is 12 Ravagers just dropping biles left and right. And it looks like it's about it. There's the GG. Dark takes game number 1. Whew. That was close, though. I do think that final attack had a chance for Wayne. Again, 10 army supply up, and 10 of that supply of Dark was just in mutas, which were not in that fight at all. They were just kind of idly hitting overlords on the other side of the map, being kind of annoying. You know, that 20 army supply at that stage of the game is a big deal. However, I think Wayne really mishandled that final fight. And it's a tough fight to handle well. There's no great attacking area in that position, especially against that many Ravagers. Dark just had the ability to drop biles and just constantly delay that fight from happening. Yeah, I feel like splitting off a bunch of your army and then moving in between your opponent's army as it like collapses on you from the high ground is probably not the play there. But it's tough. Wayne was trying to do some fancy army movement, and Dark just countered him beautifully. And now we're heading to game 2. We're going to Alcyone. So let's hop in to game number 2. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner, we've got our Talon Zerg player. It is Dark, up 1-0. Ready to head to the semifinals, but see if his opponent has something to say about that. In the upper right-hand corner, going for an extractor trick opening, it is Wayne for Starlight Twinkle. Okay, so just an earlier... Oh, is this a 14-14-14? Another extracted trick cancel. Starts up the Overlord. Okay, not quite. There's an old build. The 14-14-14 build. Which was like a... It's just to get very fast speedlings out. I don't think it's good in ZVZ. But I feel like it can be if your opponent's not paying attention. The hard thing is, like, a player like Dark, he does scout very well. There are some players where, like, they'll assume too much and their scouting can be a bit of a problem. I don't think Dark's usually one of those players. He usually scouts quite well. Keeps an eye on what you're doing. I feel like he usually gets it. He, like, understands what his opponent's doing. Hard to catch him off guard. Does happen, though. We saw Epic catch him off guard earlier with some Hellions. But I'm interested in why Wayne opened this way. What was his purpose to opening this way? Because it doesn't feel like he's going to get too much out of it. I guess slightly earlier queens coming out. But it's at the expense of, at least for now, a drone. He's been a drone down for a little while, so I wonder where this comes into play. The gas is fairly similar, too. I don't know. Nice to see you on a Monday. Glad those sets keep striking themselves. Dude, I felt so bad. I mentioned this earlier, but I was supposed to strike a set today. I thought it was today that the set was getting struck, but it was yesterday, and I missed it. I was, like, at work all day, like, because I took the wrong day off of work. Felt so bad, man. Everybody was so nice about it, though. And apparently it all went quite well. I showed up right at the tail end, make sure everything was good, and it was. And I was like, well, I guess I'll cast StarCraft tomorrow then. Yeah. I had to go in this morning to, like, patch up some of the holes we made in the walls. If I didn't have to do that, I would have cast Europe this morning. But all right, what's happening in game 2? Wayne closing himself off here, setting up a 2-base roach scenario. So I mentioned last game, right? Yeah. That there are ways to circumnavigate the need of a baneling nest, and this is one of them. This is one of them. You just don't take that third until you have roaches out. Wayne starts up +1. He's got the lair almost done. That's going to time out so he can start up roach speed. Wayne could go for an attack. This was a classic build. Oh, good kill there from Dark on the creep tumor. A classic build in ZVZ was just 2-base roach. You get +1 missile attacks, you get Glial Reconstitution, and you just shove across the map on 2 bases. Usually we don't see that. I'm expecting Wayne to take a third once these 6 roaches are out, and he is forcing a specific response out of Dark. Dark went straight for a +1 missile attacks. What's really nice for Dark here is he didn't build a Bane nest. He didn't overmake Lings or try to make any Banes or anything like that. He's just got a handful of Lings out to keep an eye on things on this side of the map. There's no Ling speed for Wayne, so he doesn't have any Ling support for this. He's building a lot of roaches, though, so I said, oh, you probably just move out and take a base. No, that is not what he's doing. He is committing right now. And Dark has recognized this. He drops a Spine Crawler. He's building nothing but roaches. Dark has a 3rd base, which means more larvae, and he has a higher number of drones, so better income. But Wayne started +1 a little earlier. He started his roach production a little earlier. He will have those advantages. He should be ahead in roaches for the first part of this game, but Dark's going to be able to defend with queens. He's going to have closer reinforcements. He's going to have 1 Spine Crawler done. Another one is on the way, and Wayne hits the top of that ramp and realizes this is not enough roaches here right now. He needs to wait for more. He does have some queens coming along. I love the creep highway here for Wayne. Gonna help him out. Might even be able to kill this Overlord. I mean, he should be able to just kill this Overlord. Wayne is committed to this. He's still ahead in supply. Dark, though, again, with the defensive reinforcements closer, might put him in a good spot. Ravager hits him kind of the wrong side here, getting hit by that Spine Crawler. Some Lings come back in, just distracting these Queens, buying some time, even if they don't live. But Wayne is starting to push through, and you know what? That supply is looking very good for Wayne, fighting into the Spine Crawler. Now the other one starts moving, but it takes like 12 seconds to reset. So by the time it does, I think Wayne's got this. He's at double the army supply of Dark. Dark was getting set up defensively, but I don't think he had enough. GG. Wayne ties the series up with the absolute most classic Zerg versus Zerg attack. That is it. That is like the Legacy of the Void ZVZ attack. I don't think I've seen a player do that in a long time. Like, actually commit. I feel like Dark was surprised by the committal. That's actually so funny when the meta like comes back around, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes that build was good. That's wild. Yeah, all right. Dark dropping a couple of maps today you might not expect. Pretty standard game there. Pretty standard game. I do feel like there's like Dark maybe was a little greedy. I think he had a lair. Did he have roach speed on the way? He might have. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but that is something where if you're defending 3 base versus a 2 base roach, you don't need roach speed to defend. So you want to skip as many of those extra things as possible to get more roaches out. So I don't know. Maybe he was a little greedy. Maybe not. Maybe that was just good play from our Russian Zerg. But in any case, we are in game 3 now. We're going to Amphion. And spawning in the lower left-hand corner, we've got Talon's Dark, who, despite being the #1 seed today, has dropped a couple of maps. He's not looking infallible. Maybe he's a little tired from having a newborn baby, which, congratulations to him on becoming a father. I think he might be our only active pro player with children. With a child. I don't know. Is that true? Do we know of any other active pros with children that also were active while their child was born? Because his kid's like a week and a half old. Anyways, his opponent in the upper left-hand corner. It is Starlight Twinkle's Wayne. I'd be feeling pretty good after that one, but I don't think that's a trick you can pull twice. And this is a very different map. Very interesting map. I'll be interested to see if either player decides to mine through here and try to take a base over here. Anything cheeky like that. Imagine working instead of casting StarCraft. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, my job needs me on Mondays now. At least for the time being. I'm hoping that we can train somebody else to start doing what I do at work so that they can do that on Mondays. Although I'm pretty sure he also wants Mondays off, so I'm not sure if that's going to help. Yeah, I would love to get Mondays back off. I told my boss, I was like, the only day I care about to have off from work is Mondays. Because any other day I can do whatever I do in the evening. That's fine. But EBT, I can't cast in the evening. I could, and I have done this before. There's been some days where I'm supposed to work until 4, and I like sneak out a little early, like 3:30, and I bust ass to get home and start casting this like a little bit late. Or if I start work later in the day, like 10:30, I'll do the stupid thing and stay up late on Sunday and cast EBT Korea. That one's tough though, because that messes up my Sunday and my Monday. That's the hard thing about that one. Because usually Sunday night, I take a nap before it, so I can't do anything Sunday night. And then Monday, by the time I get home from work, I'm exhausted from barely sleeping the night before. I just fall asleep again. The EBT Korea is a tough one to cover. but maybe I can sneak a Monday off here and there. I feel bad this week, though. My boss is sick right now, so he came in today. Apparently, he went into work for a few hours today and then went home. Sucks for him. R.I.P. Glad they didn't call me. All right, what's going on in this game? So Wayne is full walled in here, and he's taking this base. Unfortunately, Dark has recognized this, and he has made himself a little hole, and now these Lings are going to sneak in here and force a cancel. Wayne was, I think, hoping that Dark wouldn't go this way, and Dark just went this way. The Banelings are coming over. They're going to be a little late to the party. Oh my god, the Baneling morph from Dark? What? Oh, dude. What a play. I kind of wish he had canceled it, but what a play. To make sure that the Banes couldn't come through or Lings couldn't come through. Now Dark's going to send a couple of Lings in just to scout and see what's going on. He sees the lair is morphing. Might even be able to see the timing on that. Roachborn goes down in the wall for Wayne, but Wayne is now stuck on 2 bases with slow Lings and a lair. He's going to retake this base, but I mean, Dark is just in such a good spot now. This has just put Dark ahead. Yeah, and Dark, the other thing is Dark knows exactly what Wayne's doing. He knows exactly Wayne's game state, whereas Wayne, he can guess, and he'll probably be mostly right because there's nothing too crazy going on for Dark right now. But he doesn't know Dark's game state. And I love this. Dark is like, you don't have any roaches out yet? Start hitting this roach warren. I feel like he could just kill it. There is about to be a transfuse, so maybe not. But he goes right back in. There it is. Ooh, there's one transfuse. Gonna buy some time. Still a lot of Lings, though. And that's a dead roach warren. And, I mean, it denies glial reconstitution. And delays roach production. And forces Wayne to rebuild that. Wayne is going to rebuild it with a hole in the wall, though. So, at least that'll help him out a little bit. Dark's not going for +1 attack this time. So, Wayne is going to have a full 1 upgrade lead on him. But both players are going for a Spire. Now, Wayne's lair was done a lot earlier, so his Spire started up earlier. So, he's about to finish this Spire. And that is one thing Dark doesn't know about. Oh, as I say that, though, the Lings, they're going to catch this queen. I think they need to get in. There's 5 mutas on the way. But Dark, he's not going to be able to get in there and scout it. That's a big deal, not seeing that Spire still. If those Lings had just dove right in, they get the guaranteed scout. Overseer might scout the mutas by dying to them. And yeah, it looks like Dark's going to be able to spot those mutas. That's at a perfect time because his Spire just finished. And now he can just build Corruptors. That actually was the perfect scouting moment for Dark to spot that. Right before his Spire finished, so he hadn't started mutas yet. And now he can just start up some Corruptors. The muta's not going to be able to DPS down any of these Overlords. Spore Crawler's not quite done yet, so the Queens do have some movement to do here. Looks like one Ovi will die off in the corner. But now the Corruptors are out, and Wayne spots that one and is like, "Ow, damn, he had a Spire too." And that's a painful moment when you realize your opponent has such a good counter to your unit. Gonna pop the Overseer. Wayne, in the meantime, has droned up, so the worker count is even. That income, bit in Dark's favor for a little bit there, but I mean, honestly, these numbers are all pretty low, so this is not a huge deal either way. Dark delaying that base was painful for him, but Wayne's in still a pretty solid spot. I mean, he's got +2, 2/3 of the way done. He's got Hydras coming out already. This was not a commitment to mutas. The mutas really haven't found any damage, but they have forced Corruptors out. And I'll tell you, Corruptors are not great. This is also a lot of them. That is 9 Corruptors in Dark's army right now. He committed so hard to these Corruptors. He has more Corruptors than there are mutas. And with Hydras coming out already for Wayne, like I actually like Wayne's position here. I think Wayne's position is better. Honestly, the hardest thing for Wayne is going to be like getting out to attack, but I only say that because he can't really attack this way with the wall so closed. So he is going to have to move around this side, but like, Wayne's army is looking sick. Now the Corruptors could dive in and kill a hatch. And in fact, I'm quite confident that's Dark's plan. Oh, never mind. Turns around, spots the Mutas, decides to go try to fight them. Oh, the Mutas are going to hang out by the Hydras. This could be a bit of a trap. I don't know if Dark realizes where the Hydra... that there are this many Hydras out. Maybe he has spotted them. But the Roaches and Hydras are moving across the map. Dark needs to defend this back at home. Army supply for Wayne is way higher. And it's just those 7 Mutas. I don't think Dark has enough to hold on right now. This is looking super dicey. Wayne's going to kill this base. I think Dark has to just let it go. He's fighting up a ramp into a concave against Roach Hydra with just almost pure Roach. And Wayne has the upgrade lead as well with +2 attack finished up. Uh-oh, guys. I think Dark might be dead. He's trying to build a bunch of Roaches right now. The Biles are landing a little bit, and some of these Roaches are coming in from the wrong side for the reinforcements for Wayne. Wayne still has such a strong army. The Hydra's doing so much DPS on the back. The Biles just not cutting it. Drones come off the line, but it looks like Wayne might be able to grab the upset. The Muta's coming in to help, just doing whatever damage they can before the Corruptors kill them, but that is it. GG. Wayne pulls the upset, takes down Dark in the ZVZ, and knocks him out of this bracket in the quarterfinals. All right, Wayne. Kind of upset we like to see.